All right, I happened to see the news feed that in Sweden, these right wing, I don't know, some groups of people or one guy who's very infamous. He burnt a Quran to protest uh, against Turkey and show, freedom of speech and all that. And Turkey cancelled the meeting that the Swedish, some minister had to come. And now Saudi, Kuwait, all the Muslim countries are protesting. So I'll give you my thoughts about this incident, and feel free to tell me what you think. And my core focus will be about freedom of, they keep saying this, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and also, this burning of this Quran, is it right, is it wrong? Okay. Now, see, the problem in today's world, the real problem which I see is, if you're given a concept, okay, like freedom of speech or freedom of expression, people all of a sudden they jump into this bandwagon where they say, okay, freedom of speech, we need freedom of speech. Let people say what they want, freely, openly. I'll give you a small example where it proves to be a problem. On my YouTube channel, many people voted, Loy, you should have freedom of speech and expression, don't censor anything. Okay, fine. But what people tend to do is, on the guise of freedom of speech and freedom of expression, they are busy passing personal comments about my wife, telling like, your wife looks like a horse, she looks ugly, how much did you buy this maid? Now, if you actually look at it, that is freedom of speech. They are freely expressing, or freedom of expression, they're freely expressing their thoughts. According to him, my wife looks like a horse, my wife looks like a maid, how much money did I spend to, rent her services? That is, he's expressing, he or she is expressing, it's mainly guys, expressing their views. But I'll tell you now here where the double standard is. He's freely expressing this, but he has created a fake account, like for a Dark Lord or 67452 EV, or I'm just giving random names. He has created a fake name, or TV Productions XYZ. Fine. And then the second problem is, one is, why is he hiding behind a fake name? Second one is, freedom of expression or freedom of speech, does that mean you can give bad words, insult other people, talk bad about their mother, sister, daughter? Like there are even guys who have told me, since your wife is Thai, how much for one night, including your daughter? Imagine my 4-year-old daughter, they are talking in a very indecent manner. Man, I would love to do your daughter. I'm not joking. Okay, one idiot on my Facebook, this has happened, I've made a video on it. A doctor, an Indian guy who's studying in Russia, to become Russia or some country, to become a doctor. He said, your wife reminds me, he actually posted this on my Facebook, real profile. I had exposed him. He said, your wife reminds me of a 3-year-old girl that we can have for sex. Something like that. Now, that is also freedom of expression, right? See, freedom, he is speaking freely. But now, where do you draw the line? You'll say, oh, you should not say bad words. You should not insult family. Fine. But then, is it okay to have a fake account? That means you're hiding behind a fake account and you're commenting, right? So why you're hiding? Oh, I'm afraid something. Okay, if you're afraid, then don't say it, no? See, what you can't say to me face to face, why are you hiding and saying it then? Okay. The next problem with this is, most of these people who comment are 16-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, some. If you are 40 years old, would you allow a small kid to talk some nonsense in front of you? Would they have the courage, number one? Second one is, if you're talking to two adults, talking of business economy, a small kid comes, hey man, what about this? In your family, do they allow this? Of course not. Children are taught how to behave, that when elders are talking, don't interrupt. But these boys who are having social media, the phone, the parents are not supervising. They think they can just talk to any adult. In my WhatsApp groups, sometimes, but in my WhatsApp groups, strict rules are there. You know, these 20-year-old and all that, before when I used to have groups, they are busy trying to humiliate and make fun of that time when I just created groups. Imagine my client who's worth millions of dollars, some bloody kid sitting in India under his parents in a bedroom. He's arguing with my client who's worth millions of dollars. Hey, what the fuck do you know, man? Who the hell are you? He doesn't know who he's talking to. He's saying, he was talking about investments and stocks. This kid. Now, isn't that freedom of speech, freedom of expression? You'll say, oh, no, Loy, that he should be. See, this is the problem now. Everyone's harping and talking about freedom of speech, freedom of expression. But where are the rules? Okay, now another problem that comes with this freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Okay? Now here, I'm a public figure. Everyone knows my name. Everyone knows my family. Everyone knows what I do. Now there is some guy, let's say, he creates an actual profile. Let's assume he creates a real profile. His name is Ivan. Okay? And now this Ivan, on the guise of freedom of expression, says, Loy, what personal branding cartoon you are. Your work is crap. Your videos are shit. You are nonsense. Your videos are so boring. You are terrible. He keeps going on and on and on, insulting my work, insulting my videos, insulting everything. And I don't know anything about him. Okay? So he's practicing freedom of speech. Again, freedom of expression. He's giving his view that, who would go for a tattooed freak like this? According to him, he feels my videos are boring. Or he feels I'm a loser. This is his opinion. And he's expressing his thoughts and feelings. Now, my question to you is, he has emptied himself, insulting me, and now he can relax at home. He's having his life. Nobody's insulting him. He doesn't have an online presence. Just created an account. And like this, he goes to 10 people's account and he insults all the 10. So he practiced freedom of expression and freedom of speech. Now, is that fair for me? I take my work seriously. I take, my career, my work, I value it because I earn money. So is that okay that he dumps all the insults on me? Like imagine if I were to go to his office and I were to insult him and he can't do anything because he has a boss and, he has to keep quiet. Let's say I'm the customer and he's just working there. Is that right? I'm also practicing freedom of expression, freedom of speech, right? See, the problem with this freedom of speech and freedom of expression is people they will just twist and turn the words to suit their narrative. And that is not right. Now, coming back to this burning of the Quran, tell me, okay, yes, you have a right. You can buy a Quran copy. You can burn it. That's your right. You purchased a product. For you, it's not religious. That way, you can buy a Bhagavad Gita, you can buy a Bible, you can buy a Torah, you can buy any book, holy book. Burn it, defecate on it, spit on it, tear it. It's yours. But now what is happening is, if you do it privately, nobody knows, nobody cares. If you do it within your group, nobody knows, nobody cares. But now you're bringing it and showing it to people for whom it matters, for whom it is something important, for whom it means something. So is that right to do this and say freedom of speech and freedom of expression? Is that right? Like, for example, let's say I'm sitting with my wife and my child, and one guy comes and shows photograph of my wife and my child, and let's say he's doing something very indecent with that and saying, see this or see that or something indecent, or he's urinating on it in front of us. Now, he's practicing freedom of expression, right? But is that right? See, the problem is people will use and misuse a concept or a rule or a right to suit their agenda, and then they say it's okay. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't a Quran, let's say he is not a Muslim. Let's assume, I don't know for a fact. Let's assume he's a Christian. Okay? Now he burnt a Quran and he's making fun of a Quran. But now if he was a Christian, do you think he'd be happy someone does it for a Christian book? Let's say he has a family, he has wife and children. Would he be okay that someone insults his family? I'm very sure he wouldn't like that, because that is what he holds close to his heart. See, man, freedom of expression and freedom of speech and all that, you should use it responsibly. Now, do they have a right? Yes, they have a right. Can is an ability. Can he do it? Of course he can. He can do whatever he likes. Should he do it? Involves common sense, involves a little bit of maturity. And that is where, you should really think, just because you can insult someone, should you insult? Just because you can make fun of someone who's, let's say, poor or helpless, okay. Should you do it? Just imagine, I have a baby, I have a daughter. Now, I'm the father, I can do whatever I want. I'm paying the bills, so I can hit, I can beat. Now you'll say, no, Loy, that is not right. My response would be, man, that is my kid, I'm paying the bills, who the hell are you? My kid I'll raise. Are you paying? Are you willing to pay every month and take care? Now, no, then mind your business. I can say that, right? That is what my stepfather did with me. He abused me. He tortured me. He tormented me. I don't know what instability he had, but I know for a fact he identified me from my father because he was in love with my mother. So he looked at me as the first husband and he used to take out his frustrations on the office, beat me until blood used to come out. And he used to say, it says in the Bible, you have to discipline the child. And my mother also, yeah. Of course, discipline him, others he'll go out of hand. And nobody could say anything because they were paying the bills. So now, he has a right, no? I'll tell you. The reason why he's burning the Quran, this guy, whomsoever, is doing it for a political reason. He has a political agenda. Okay, that's why they're doing it. They are not doing it to make the world a better place. They are not doing it to positively influence people's lives. In fact, what benefit he gets? Personally, do you think his daughter, his son will become their career will grow. No. Bank balance maybe will increase. Maybe somebody is paying him. I strongly feel there is a political backing with this. There is a political agenda. Otherwise, why? And see, here's the biggest thing of all. He gets publicity. He gets eyeballs. So he is trying to be relevant. Instead of doing something good for society, he is trying to create some trouble, controversy, by which he is getting billions of dollars worth of publicity. Now, I know some of you will look at the other side. Hey man, what about these people are forcing others to comply with their religion. These refugee Muslims, they go to the West and they say, sorry, I can't shake your hand. Sorry, I can't do this. Sorry, you have to change. They start speaking on the microphone and disturbing people's sleep. And there are some of these Muslim guys who come. They went to Germany. They never saw half-naked girls. These Arabs, they were groping grass. See, there are plenty of issues, plenty of problems that Muslims and Islam has. I'm not denying it. Plenty are there. Okay? For that matter, every religion, whether Hinduism, Christianity, they have small problems. They have issues. They have areas where they're not comfortable. There are areas where they follow outdated practices. And they believe that is right. Every religion likes to believe my God, my teaching, my religion, my practices, my beliefs is right. Yours, I don't know, but mine is right. And they'll give you a stupid statement like, I will tolerate you, tolerance. I will tolerate you. What it sounds to me is, what you're doing is rubbish, but I'll tolerate you, man. They like to have the high moral ground and say that we are accommodating your nonsense. Yes, those are the problems we have in religion. And what I find infuriating is, let's say someone from Saudi or Palestine or Jordan or Syria, they go to Germany or they go to Denmark, they want the best what Denmark or Sweden or Germany has to offer, but then they don't want to get along with the culture. They'll say, no, I'm Muslim. Sorry, I find what you say offensive. Sorry, your daughters, cover them up. Sorry, I can't shake your hand. They are not ready to adapt. They want people to adapt to them. That is also wrong. And best example I can give you is in UK. These guys from Pakistan, Afghanistan, all that, they come there. First generation is quiet, but the second generation, they demand, we want Sharia law. They escaped Sharia law. They come to the West and they want to implement Sharia law. Now, that is also another problem. So, the main thing which I'm trying to address here is, there are multiple issues, multiple problems we have to deal with one by one, on a case-by-case basis. Where what this guy did, the burning of the Quran, it is, according to me, unnecessary. Okay? For him, he is exercising his right, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, fine. You want to burn another 200 books, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran. You want to burn computer books, comic books. You want to burn constitutional books. You want to burn porno books. Burn all the books. I don't know who's benefiting by burning all this. You're just trying to make a statement. You paid money, you're burning. The only thing is, common sense should prevail, which he is aware of, that me burning this and rubbing it on your face hurts your feelings. But I'll do it and I'll show you. See, he could do it privately. He chose not to. He could have done it quietly in his group. He chose not to. He wanted to make sure the world will see it And I will show it where Muslims can see it. That is where the intention is bad. That is where the intention is wrong. In the same way, this freedom of speech and freedom of expression, people coming under my channel, saying whatever they want, insulting my wife, insulting my career, insulting my videos, insulting me, insulting my opinions. And that also, they insult. You can type 10, 20 times and you can sleep and relax. Because nobody's criticizing you. But if I were to know who you are, where do you work, who you're with, would you like me to do the same? No, that you don't like. Then should be both the ways, right? And here's a big question. Why people don't do it face to face? Why they do it online? That's why we call them keyboard warriors. And most of these people who want to insult and make fun and all that, they are 18-year-old, 19-year-old, or even if they are 30, I'll tell you, this is a fact. Most of them are not happy with their lives. See, I deal with directors, CEOs. That doesn't mean I don't deal with normal people. But my clients are mainly people who can afford my service. Someone who can pay $230 an hour for my time. That's the profile of people. So obviously someone who's earning $1,000, $2,000 or even $5,000 a month may find... so you work, I'm just telling you, you work 30 days, full month. Take, all the nonsense from your boss. Take nonsense from your clients. You have job insecurities. Nobody takes you seriously. Your family just tolerates you. You're a nothing and nobody in real life or online. Whom, if I were to personally see you, even I wouldn't really. Like, you see a gardener, you see a plumber, you see a roadside guy, you'll not take them seriously. Like, for example, if you're going to a 5-star hotel, you see a cleaner, you'll give him respect as a human being. But are you going to stand there and discuss discuss about the global economy or discuss about business? No, he's not at that level. There are lots of levels, man. You'll be like, how are you doing? Bye. That's it. Because your time is so bloody important. So like these people who get a internet connection and a cheap mobile phone, start commenting, who takes them seriously? Only they feel, I said I spoke to him, I gave him shit, I talked about him. But in real life, not even their own parents, sometimes they shut your mouth here. What nonsense, what you're talking? Who takes them seriously? So those kind of people, they want to talk to me, discuss or debate. Who has time? See, in a nutshell, in a conclusion, what I want to tell you is, any tool, no? You can use it as a weapon. You can use it as an instrument. You can use it something that is helpful, or you can use it something that is harmful. You can use it for the good of mankind, or you can use it for the bad of mankind. All this is in your hands. The question is, how do you use it? I find it so funny when people shout big things about other people's religion and other people's culture and all that. But if you say anything of their culture, no. Their religion, no. Double standards. And the worst thing I hate is people who don't like a religion or a culture or a country, they will only focus on the bad. They'll not focus on anything. They'll not focus on the good. They'll not have a balanced argument. That bias, that habit, that thinking is also wrong. That is why even though me having an Indian passport, if I see anything good with Pakistanis, if I see anything good with anybody who doesn't like India or a country that doesn't like India, but I find something good and worthwhile, I'll appreciate. let's say, for example, tattoos. Someone doesn't like tattoos. If they make sense of a particular point, I agree. They say, man, this is such a bad idea. I agree with them. Tattooing your face is a bad idea. If someone says, man, you look ugly, of course. I never thought I looked like Tom Cruise in the younger days. I just look average. If someone says, man, I'm earning more than you, you're earning just peanuts. Yeah, if you compare it to someone who's earning more than me, of course. We must have a balanced view. We must have a mature outlook. We cannot be just twisting and manipulating certain privileges for our benefit and then claiming the higher ground of, trying to justify what we are doing. That's wrong. This guy exercised his right to express his freedom of speech and expression, but he has hurt the sentiments of a lot of Muslims, and his intention is wrong. He didn't do it to benefit the poor, help the children, feed someone. No, this is just to provoke, and provocation is not right. I know you'll say, what are all Muslim countries? They have their laws. Then you'll say, Sweden has its laws. Yes. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Just because, let's say for example, in a country they say you can, in Philippines, they had age of consent before, 12-year-old girl for sex. Just because they allowed that, does that mean you should? Some countries is 16-year-old girl. Just because they allow that, does that mean you should? Anyway, let me know your thoughts, because there are enough and more problems on this planet. We don't need to add more to this nonsense. Do something good, having what you have, or at least don't do anything. If you don't want to do, don't do anything. But at least don't do bad. This doesn't benefit anybody. And what I strongly feel is, this was politically motivated, and this has nothing got to do with the, helping someone or doing anything worthwhile. Anyway, you guys let me know what do you think. Good, bad, ugly. Feel free. Put your comments and thoughts below. It's me signing off. Chal.